Okay, this reading is for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. And we have 2 cards for each week. Of course, first week moving through to the 4th. And this first week we do have May Day and Cinco de Mayo, as holidays. But it looks to me like there's not going to be, going out and celebrating. I get the feeling that I can read this literally as a restriction on getting together in a group. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to have a restriction on, all that you want. It just means that I do believe these cards are saying that you won't be able to go out, or you won't feel like it's safe to go out, that you're going to tune into your natural, Capricorn sense, of accepting reality, accepting the way it is on the earth right now, that we're not, even if we're granted permission to not be in social distancing or lockdown anymore, that we're still going to have our cautious sense of wisdom for, taking care of our physical body and our family especially. So the Ten of Cups is all about fulfillment, and fulfillment from the heart, fulfillment from being in nature, surrounded with people that you love. So it can definitely just be getting out, in your backyard, or going, I don't even know if these cards really speak so much to going for a drive, but just being with your family and people that you love, I think, is the most important. And then that will keep you from feeling so restricted. It's really important to know that with this card, in the traditional Rider Waite, she's blindfolded, and her, she has like ribbons around her, but her feet are free. She could walk away, and she could literally, reach up and take the blindfold off. She's not, her hands are not behind her back. She's not, bound and gagged in any way. These are just limiting ideas. So it may be, the message here may be that you're letting go of restrictions of the mind, or you're being encouraged to let go of restrictions of the mind that keep you from having the fulfillment that you want. I mean, literally, I believe that's what it's saying. And the more you do that, the more that you open up to whatever false belief is going on that keeps you really restricted from having the loving relationship that you want, is something that you can work through on the inner levels. And really, we're the only ones that can do that. I mean, of course we have help, from others, but, and that's, to align with the law of brotherhood, that's brotherhood and sisterhood, we're here for each other. We're all interdependent upon each other. But, holding that inside and breaking through whatever keeps you feeling kind of bound up is an inside job. That work is always an inside job. And it takes, it takes a lot of courage to look in the mirror and see, oh boy, how did I create this? What's going on? What did I do? Where did this false belief come from? How can I free myself from it? And, and she's looking up here as to, look up to the heavens for guidance, and to know that you always have your guides to help you, and that even when you get messages that give you clues to your, the way your lower self has been operating, in false beliefs and fear and constriction, that's higher self guidance. It's your higher self that gives you the guidance to clue you in on how you're stuck, right? So, open to that, open to letting this week be about finding a false belief, because as we move into the second week, we have Mother's Day in here. We have a full moon in this week. So it can be a very satisfying week where you walk away from something that has been painful, and you don't need to carry it through anymore. But the King of Pentacles it's a very structured energy and consciousness where, when you open to things on the heart levels, it also opens up to everything on the physical levels, the material level. And that realm can be sustainable. The King of Pentacles is all about what's sustainable, what's long-lasting. It's about seeing the bigger picture. as far as manifesting goes, it's not, well, it's not limited to just the physical realm, because it does take a lot to bring it down into the physical realm. So I can't say that it's not, it hasn't come from ideas and passion and all of that, like like the swords and wands, and we have the element of the cups that can be, with the king of cups as well. But with the king of pentacles, I kind of see that pentacles as I see that as end result of being open to those good ideas from the king of swords, and the passion it takes to implement the ideas, in the passion that comes up from our core, that's could be in the king of wands, and then the emotional intelligence and the nurturing qualities and healing qualities that are within the king of cups. But the king of pentacles can embody all of those realms and create something that's really sustainable, something that you can sit back and relax in. So whether you have some projects that you've been working on and they've been a little limiting and restrictive this last week, or even prior to like if in this last month in April, it's been very challenging for all of us. So working through that, I think you can be in a much more relaxed place, and then you can finally walk away, let this full moon that comes in, even though this isn't a card that relates to the moon, but we do have the full moon this week in Scorpio. So let this full moon be a release of walking away from something that's painful, some false beliefs, some old ideas of your ability to receive love and give love, in the realms of the heart. Kind of just let things be more, let go of the mind having to control anything, and let yourself just be in your heart more. And I believe you'll be able to walk away from something that had been painful, and you can just put that to rest for good. And then moving into the third week, it looks like you're moving away from something. Like there's a transition here on some level. You guys are going to have to leave me comments and let me know, how it worked out. But I believe you're going to go through a transition into calmer waters. You're going to, get past the choppy waters and into a calmer, situation. And that, I do believe, even though she's alone here on the, in the boat, normally there's, a ferryman or a person, ferrying her across the water. And in the traditional Rider-Waite, it's her and her child, and there's a man that's, manning the boat to get her across. And so I believe that this card truly means that you do have the support. I mean, with this artwork here that Chris Ann has created, you're led by the birds. You're led by the ravens or the crows. I'm not sure which bird it is, but I believe that you're being led like towards more wisdom, especially because we're into the Hermit card with it, which is always talking about finding your lamp and climbing the high mountain to find your way inside. And I always think it's funny, the artwork on this, because you can climb a mountain, or you can go into a cave in the mountain, but when you get there, when you finally get to the place that you want to be, which is the path of the hermit is all about finding your inner light. When you get there, you realize, oh, it was inside me all along. I didn't have to climb that mountain. But, for Capricorns, we like climbing mountains. I have Mars in Capricorn, so I know that energy well. So hikes, this could, if I just look at it literally, it could be going to a lake, because the weather's better now, and in areas where there's more, wild nature, you can go to a lake, and you can get away with your family, right? Go to a lake and then go for a hike, or maybe have a weekend where you spend one day on the lake, and then you go exploring around in the forest or something, or you go on a little hike up a mountain. It could play out that way. But again, let me know. But the spiritual principle within this card is all about your inner light is within. Your light is within. The light of the universe is within you already. And finding that place is what's, what's important. And that is the lesson of the Hermit. And now sometimes, or oftentimes actually, the Hermit is about taking some alone time and some alone space. So if you do go out on a trek on your own by yourself, that could be the case. Or it could just be that you don't go anywhere and this is all, on the inner levels at home, that you just go within at home. Again, you guys let me know how it turns out for you. So with the last week here, we have Memorial Day. So it'll feel like a more expansive, I think you'll have a longer week. Although I know that, time is such an interesting experience nowadays where they just all seem to kind of run together when you're not on a schedule like before. But for those of you who are, self-employed and you've had a break because, things have kind of shut down, this may be like, one of the last weeks for a while, or it may be a way of life moving forward into the future where you're going to have to, tap into your Capricornian, patience. The Capricorns are good at slowing down and being patient. And that's what this card calls for here. It's the wisdom to know that, you have to allow, things, sunlight, you have to nourish whatever your creations are. Before you can harvest something, you have to go slowly with it, and you can't, dig at the roots to try and find the seed. And it's also the wisdom to know that not every seed opens, but with the Seven of Pentacles, definitely something has opened here and it's growing, but it is slow. It's a slow process. And you have to, nurture it with your attention. If it were a plant, it would be water and sunlight and, some type of fertilizer, but or plant food, of course. But if it's a project that you're working on, it's just about putting your energy and your focus and your attention. Knowing that energy and consciousness will wrap itself around your intentions. And you have to, give things your attention in order to grow the project, to see it through, to successfully, bring it into manifestation. It's it's on the Seven of Pentacles is pretty well on its way on the path to the King of Pentacles here. So it looks like there is something that you've been working on. And again, let me know. I'd love to know about it. But these two cards here are definitely about waiting. It's definitely about being more patient. So I don't see May as being one of those months where you have a lot of like tangible physical results, but there's a lot of work going on the inner levels and a lot of preparation that's happening. And your ship will come in. Your wave will come. You will be able to ride the wave because you've put the work. I can see that the work has been going into it. Whatever it is that you're working on, or all the things that you're working on, they will manifest. They will grow, and you will see your ship come in. You just have to hold on, have the faith that you normally have, keep going within. You might want to, one other little piece I see here is that you might want to open up to the universe and let it give you even more than you could imagine. Let go of any limitations of the mind. That could be what this card is talking about here, because it could be saying that your mind is in a limited place, and if you can let go of that, you can open up and receive so much more. This is a very, very receptive card. It's the nth degree of, receptive capabilities, unless you get into the King and Queen of Pentacles, or Queen and King. I'm sorry, Queen and King of Cups. They're also the epitome of reception, but they are more in the realm of managing that awesome power. This one is about having it, having it, and then opening to more. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really good month, even though it looks like there's some challenging cards, but they're not that challenging, really. I don't see anything of concern. Just that it may not be as fruitful of a month as you would like, for your creations. But that doesn't mean that you won't still have a lot of good things coming in. But I could be totally wrong, because these readings won't be accurate for everyone. But especially, like if you're brand new to my channel, sometimes it takes a while for the universe to catch up with us. So let me know how it worked out. If you have any questions, I promise I will answer. And if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much. And yeah, be back next month. Okay, meanwhile, take good care and be safe.